Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television, live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. Federal government calls for vigilance in managing the spread of Ebola virus disease. APC leaders brainstorm on how to tackle the nation's health challenges. The military and Boko Haram fight for control of Bama in Borno State. And regional leaders reject Lesotho's call for deployment of troops to help restore order in the country. All our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And we urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS, and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions. Residents of Bama in Borno State woke up this morning to a surprise attack by members of the insurgent group Boko Haram. But the military swiftly repelled the attack, forcing the group to flee from Bama. Bama has been under severe attacks from the militants in recent times. An eyewitness who did not want to be identified tells us more about today's early morning attack.
In Bama this morning, there was a serious attack by the insurgents. They laid total siege on the military base, and they were wanting to sack them out. But we thank God that did not happen because the military guys were not participating and they repelled them. But for now, I know so many people must have been injured and killed, whose number we can't ascertain now. And some of the military men had to move back to Maiduguri because they were expecting some attack from some part of Maiduguri from Burungala. And so many soldiers too were wounded. And most of the guys in the city, particularly the civilian JTF, were really up to resist any entrance of vehicles or persons coming towards Maiduguri from Bama at the coast.
7th Divisional Headquarters of the Nigerian Army today imposed a curfew in Maiduguri, capital of Borno State, northeast Nigeria. According to Army authorities, the curfew is to remain until further notice. This action, the Army says, is to forestall a plot by Boko Haram militants to attack Maiduguri. The Nigerian Army is currently battling Boko Haram insurgents in Bama, some 40 kilometers away from Maiduguri. It's been 140 days since over 200 schoolgirls were abducted in Chibok community, Borno State. Campaigners for the release of the girls have continued to demand for the release of the girls. At a rally in Abuja, the campaigners say time is running out. The renewed call by the activists came on a day government released a formal statement on efforts made to rescue the schoolgirls. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafor, has the report.
Though not very many in numbers, the Bring Back Our Girls campaigners have continued to call for the release of over 200 girls abducted in Chibok community, Borno State. This time, their campaign has been taken to the Baga roundabout, where they have continued to ask for one thing only.
What are we demanding? Bring back our girls now and alive. What are we asking? The truth, nothing but the truth. What do we want? Resolve from the rescue operation.
The activists took their campaign one step further, depicting what they described as the horrific experience the girls will be going through.
You know how vulnerable our teenagers are. For them to be in this for 140 days. For a parent to imagine every day what their daughters go through. The torture, the torment, the assault that those girls go through. The Chibok parents, they die 1,000 deaths every night.
A Chibok community leader, however, took a swipe at the government for what he described as a shoddy rescue operation.
When they say that we know where they are, okay, if they know where they are, let them bring them out. It means that, to me, if they know where they are, it means that their hand is in it. The Chief of Defense made that statement. Even the highest officer of the land made it. So let them go and bring them out if they know where they are. That's our cry.
But the federal government, in a document sent to all its agencies, says it has procured new equipment and technology to strengthen the capability and support for the military and security agencies. It also says that security operatives have captured some senior-level Boko Haram commanders who were used as spies and treasury officials. The government says it is cooperating and empowering local populations across Nigeria in the battle against Boko Haram. Recent examples of the security forces' success, according to the document, resulting from the government-citizen collaboration, includes the Safe School initiative, which has been developed to safeguard school children in states under emergency rule by strengthening the security of educational facilities. It also says it took important steps to address the socio-economic factors that feed the insurgency and is implementing a community service program that has already recruited 11,500 young people to participate in public works projects.
The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, John Oyegun, says his party has developed a work plan that will give Nigerians a better welfare deal than currently exists. Mr. Oyegun, who is optimistic that the APC will assume the reins of leadership at the presidency, goes on to say that job creation and tackling corruption is at the core of the party's manifesto.
Leaders of the All Progressive Congress across the country, they have converged on Owerri, the capital of Imo State, and their concern is simple: to deal with the challenges of building a physically healthy nation through preventive and innovative Medicare.
It is the position of the APC that the issue of health cannot be ignored at any point, and constant improvements must be sought in the policy, strategy, and management of health care, with the aim of building world-class and affordable health care for all Nigerians.
The third Progressive Governance Series is an initiative of the APC governors. Governor Rochas Okorocha kickstarts discussion bordering on the state of education in the country.
Education should be a right and not just a privilege. If only the children of the poorest of the poor can go to school. Because the Ebola today we are suffering from, we do not know who is a medical doctor that can find solution to it. It might be that child in a village who has been refused school because he has no one to pay for his school fees. Might be the solution to Ebola.
Challenges in the healthcare system of the country. A major part of discourse here is brought to the fore by the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar. He says there is an urgent need for financial investment in the healthcare sector.
The arrival of Ebola disease has drawn attention to what we have always known: the urgent need for adequate investments in healthcare infrastructure and service delivery across the country.
It appears all the speakers here are unanimous on a more elaborate partnership between the federal government and the private sector on funding the health system.
The truth of the matter is that the federal government has no business in running a clinic anywhere. What they should concern themselves with is funding adequately the healthcare sector, as well as oversighting the healthcare sector.
Partnership with the private sector is inevitable for us to move forward in the bid to provide better healthcare for our people. The federal government providing the financing and also policy to monitor and direct the health system, and they also are supposed to focus on research development.
and more calls are made for the government to be more proactive in its roles.
If our political leaders do not lead the citizens of this country in fully imbibing and exhibiting our core national ethics and values of honesty, freedom, democracy, human rights, equity, social justice, law and order, excellence in our everyday life, our health will become our death.
The theme for discussion cannot have come at a better time as Nigeria and the West African sub-region battle to stamp out the fast-spreading Ebola virus disease which has claimed hundreds of lives in the region. Suggestions from this conference can only make an impact if words are matched with action. Victoria Ido, reporting for Channels Television News.
And for more on the third governance series taking place in Owerri, the Imo State capital, here's our correspondent, Charles Eruka, standing by to speak with Governor Rochas Okorocha. Hi, Charles.
Thanks, Bimbo. And, well, we're being joined on the news at 10 by the Executive Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Owele Rochas Okorocha. Governor Okorocha, thanks for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you very much.
Now, talking about today's lecture, there are serious challenges the nation is facing now, like security, for instance, and even the economy. Why then health as the focus of this particular lecture?
Well, let me say that our nation is going through a very trial moment and a very sad one too, which we have never experienced in the history of this nation. But coming to the Progressive Governance Lecture Series, this is the third one held in Imo State today. The first one was on job creation, second was on education, the third one on health. We're just picking on topical issues that affects our nation's economy and affects us as individuals. If you ask any young man in the street today, what does he want? He tells you he wants a job, job, job. So our party tries to proffer solution to what we can do when it comes to the issue of youth empowerment, unemployment, and all that. So we finished with that topic, and we came into the issue of education, which is very vital and key. And now today we're on health.
Yes.
The idea here is to be able to distinguish our party from other parties, because our party is not based on sentiments. Our party is based on issues, not on propaganda, but some programs. And that's what we expect. Any party that thinks it should handle the affairs of this nation should begin to tell us what they can do rather than engage on the issue of propaganda. So the health is very key because a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. So we look at what can we do eventually in 2015, assuming APC comes into power. So Nigerians need to see our program. We're able to dissect the challenges we have in the health sector, and I will find out that there's overbearing by the federal government on issues of health. And the structural problem when it comes to health should be revisited. So we're looking at how we can provide health at everyone's doorstep. So these are some of the things we look at.
Now, we talked about the healthy nation being a wealthy nation, but yes, what about a secure nation? Now, in terms of security, what then would be the APC's solution to the nation's security challenge in terms of ideas, let's say?
Now, I tell you what. Security, health, education, these are all highly interwoven. There's no better one or worse one. They are all problems of a nation. But first and foremost, you must have a secured nation before you can talk about anything. You must have a healthy nation. You must have an educated nation. You must provide jobs for the ordinary youth. But coming to the issue of security, you see, security has a lot to do with vision. For us in APC, we believe in crime prevention, not crime fighting. When you get into crime fighting as a policy program, you spend too much of money and you might not get the result. You see, preventing crime before it starts is the best option. But if it has started,
it has already started,
then you have to involve the people. It's not just what government alone would do. It will be a collective responsibility because information is very important in security. And that's what is lacking. The entire problem of Boko Haram is cluelessness on information. Nobody has any information at all. It's a mere guess job. Right. Take, for instance, if you're not too much in a hurry, what happened in Imo State? We had similar issue, kidnapping. Was order of the day. What did I do? I just got the locals involved, the traditional rulers involved, and I got information, and today there are no more kidnappings in the state. So information is very key.
Absolutely. Well then, I will say that, having made that point, thank you very much, Governor Okorocha, for, well, that hint there. And we've been talking to the Executive Governor of Imo State, Governor Rochas Okorocha. Well, that's his own solution, the APC solution to the security problem. It's back to you, Bimbo.
Thank you very much, Charles. When the news at 10 returns, the 65 Naira bank charge on ATM withdrawal takes effect today across the country. Well, that's on Business News. Please join us again.